Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Please do like and subscribe for more confessions.
Girlfriend is cheating on me with my sister's help. Been hanging about here for a while because I've suspected my GF of 2 years to be cheating on me, and after reading various posts about how others dealt with it, I came up with a plan to install software on her phone that would allow me to read her text messages in real time, and I now have undeniable proof that she is in fact cheating on me with one of her work colleagues. But to make matters worse, my sister of all people knows about her cheating and has actually encouraged her to continue. The conversation I read made me physically sick, and I don't know who to tell or how to deal with it. GF, I don't feel bad for cheating on him, but I do feel bad for lying. Maybe I should just break up with him. Sister, Darren is a simp babe. He always was and always will be. Even if he finds out, he'll still forgive you. And if you're worried about the lies, you know I'll cover for you. GF, you're probably right. I should just enjoy myself. He'll believe anything you tell him. Sister, he's my brother and I love him, but he's a cuckold simp, an unknowing one, but still, that's how beta boys deserve to be treated. Mom knows he's a beta. Dad knows he's a beta. The only person who doesn't know is him, lol. My own sister wrote that about me. It's been 2 days and I still haven't said anything. They don't use Reddit, so I don't need to worry about them seeing this. But what do I do about this? Obviously I know I need to get rid of the GF and send her back to the state. But what do I do about my sister family? If my sister knows, do my parents know too? And if they do, why would they allow this to happen to me? Please help. Update. I'm OMW over to my parents' house while my sister is at work. STBXGF thinks I'm going for a pint with dad. Going to show them the messages and get their reactions as advised to. Thank you for all the lovely kind messages from everyone who's sent one or commented. Your words are highly appreciated. And as for everyone saying this is fake, you are entitled to your opinions. However, your opinions are irrelevant to me. Wife cheated on me with a military guy. I've had suspicions my wife was cheating on me, but I couldn't prove it. One day I got a call from this woman Karen, not real names, telling me her military husband, Sean, was having an affair with my wife, Dora. We met at a Starbucks coffee shop and she had printed out all the texts, pictures and highlighting the major points. I went home and cried, but I promised to not say anything until that following Friday and promised to come to her house early that Friday. I picked up Karen, took her to a clinic. To my surprise, she got an abortion. 4th-month boy, took her home. Karen got her 2 little girls and 3 suitcases in my car and off to an airport hotel where Sean and Dora got a room. Karen asked me which car was my wife's and I pointed to it. Karen wrote "FU" on the autographed baseball card and put it under the passenger wiper blade. She got in Sean's Mustang and I followed her to the airport parking building. I helped her with the children. Karen told me to keep the 2 really heavy suitcases. I helped her into the lobby. We said goodbye. I drove past a hotel on the way home and Dora's car was still there. I went home, curious about what was in the 2 suitcases. Got home, figured I had time to look. Thousands of baseball cards from the 1940s to mostly 70s. First edition Yearsman comic books, really terrible porn DVDs, dumped them. An old Rolex pocket watch. I immediately hid everything in the attic. Karen sent copies of texts to all the husbands of wives Sean was screwing to include other military people in his unit. Dora got home with her children. I could tell she expected something. She didn't say much of anything. I didn't say a word. I told her I loved her and missed her, that she was the greatest mom to the kids. Dora would ask me probing questions for weeks and wonder why I wouldn't touch her or even kiss her. I slowly shipped the baseball cards and comic books to my sister to sell, which turned into really big money. I got the Rolex serviced, cleaned, and I have it on me sometimes. Dora was shocked that it was a genuine antique Rolex and asked where I got it. I said it was payment for an important favor. IDK if she knows Sean was missing it. I sleep on the couch, never touch Dora, and I kind of know she knows why. We don't talk. About a year later I told Dora that a friend of mine, Karen, had a baby. Karen calls me at work sometimes. Dora hurried up and went into her bedroom and closed the door. She probably called Sean. When Dora came out, I told her that I was surprised because she had an abortion last year. A boy. Karen got an abortion because her ex-husband was cheating on her. I think out bits of stuff to tell her that tortures her. I believe she still sees Sean, but I got over it and her cheating ass. Since then, we keep separate bank accounts. She has to pay half the mortgage and she isn't named on any insurance policies. When the kids get old enough, I'm out. Caught my ex by catfishing. This occurred over 6 years ago. I was 25 at the time. She was 23. We were together for close to 2 years. I was infatuated at first. Over time, We learned about each other's pasts. We both had compatible sex drives and found out the two of us had plenty of fun before we met. Now, after meeting, I discovered she cheated multiple times on her ex-boyfriend. I understood it at the time and didn't think it would happen to me. Anyways, the longer we were together, the more red flags I found. I tried to keep her happy and even discussed opening our relationship up to include others in the bedroom, though I was cautious because I didn't think she had the maturity to handle it. She rejected my idea immediately yet complained I didn't have sex enough. Shortly after this, our relationship deteriorated to the point that I knew I needed to end it. But I had a sneaking suspicion she was cheating. Luckily, I found out she was using an app to talk to and meet guys. So I joined and started talking to her. I got her to admit to cheating multiple times and she agreed to meet up with me. Mind you, she had no idea I was her BF. Anyways, we met up and the face she gave me was priceless. I do believe, once a cheater, always a cheater. Best friend and wife. Found out my wife of 6 years and best friend since first grade 2001 have fallen in love, and while I've been working in a 20 degrees Fahrenheit freezer on weekends overnight to provide for my 2 kids, wife and best friend that was living with me since the start of the year, who has been jobless and living rent-free, and who I also moved into my house after him and his ex broke up after a 2-year-long relationship, have been sleeping with each other. I'm a vet with multiple mental disorders that just transferred out of the military. I'm having trouble transitioning into civilian life and haven't found any therapists I like yet, but I was pushing her away, so it's all my fault. A wife cheating on her husband with me. I, 25M, met a girl, 32F, on Tinder. She said that I look good and wanted to sleep with me. At first, I had no idea that she was married to her husband, 33M, and they have 2 kids. After we slept the first time at a hotel, I asked her when was the last time she had a BF. She said, I'm now married and have 2 kids. She tells her husband that she is going to meet her girlfriend, so he can take care of the kids, and she meets me instead and we sleep over and over again. When I ask her why would she do that, she says that she needs sex every day, and her husband can't satisfy her. I feel bad because I enjoy sleeping with her, but there's a good husband out there trusting this cheater. I know what I'm doing isn't right, of course. Most of my friends ask me to block her. I'm thinking of telling her husband the truth without knowing me. Should I be worried about my GF's boat trip invite? GF got invited on a boat trip by her open relationship friend or rich boyfriend. This trip is only supposed to be for Sunday, it's not the whole weekend. My 26, GF, 22, got an invite from her friend, close to my age, to the lake on her boyfriend's boat. The dude is pretty wealthy, and they invited my GF, and anyone else she wants to bring, to come along this weekend. I wouldn't normally care, but they're in an open relationship. They did not explicitly invite me, just whoever she wants to bring. I'm working this weekend and likely won't be able to come. I'm not generally the insecure type, but from what my GF has told me, this guy likes to sleep with his GF's friends. It definitely does not help that the invitation was not extended to me in particular. What do we think? Boys, update. I just talked to her the way some of you said. She pretty much immediately said she won't go unless I get the day off. Thanks, fellas. Found a used condom wrapper in our bedroom. I, 25M, have been living with my GF, 24F, for 2 years now. We have been together since high school. 3 years ago, I discovered that she had been having an affair with her coworker. I don't know the full extent of what happened between them, but I had seen some texts between them and confronted her about it. She agreed to stop talking to him, but I have noticed that she has kept in touch with him over the last 2 years, as I would occasionally see a text or a call from him 4 months ago. I came home early from work to surprise her and found him in the house. They weren't in bed or anything. They were just talking. They were fully clothed, but this led to a huge fight between us, and I told her to decide if she wants me or him. She told me she only wants me and can't see herself with anyone else. She promised to cut all contact with him. Since then I haven't seen any texts or calls from him, and I also had him blocked on all social media. Yesterday I found a used condom wrapper under our bed while cleaning. I'm certain I never bought this one, as it's a different brand and color to the ones we have used. I don't know what to do now. My mind is running through all of these possibilities, but I don't want to accuse her of something if nothing had happened. Is there any reasonable explanation for this, or how should I ask her about this matter? I, 30M, finally got truth and pride out confessions from my wife, 30F, of 5 years, that she's been having an affair for months. Still a throwaway. but see the post history for context. I finally got some trickle truths last night from my wife. I set a clear boundary with her that she wasn't to drink alone with her friend back in the south when she went to visit for a bridal shower last weekend. We recently moved up north. She told me her story of what she did that weekend, purely innocent. I got the suggestion to contact the dude's girlfriend. I didn't want to at first, but boy am I glad I did. I asked if she ever felt off about these two. She says, yeah, we've talked about it, but he swears they're just good friends. She mentioned she wasn't happy that my wife slept at his place this past weekend. What? Then I confronted my wife, who doubled down on the same lies. Then I showed her the receipts. She then changes her story to, okay, I hung out with him, but we didn't drink, and you said that was okay. I didn't tell you because I knew you'd be upset. I'm like, you were just drinking in a group. You think it's okay to go home with this dude just because you didn't keep drinking? Then it was, I don't remember where we went. I was too drunk. After a lot of prying, pointing out lies and inconsistencies, it became weakest. Then we made out for an hour, and then I have feelings for him. I don't know what to do with it, and then we kissed back in November, too. Who knows what she's still hiding, but that's enough for me. I honestly don't see a way out of this that includes us still being married. I left the house and checked into a hotel. I've been having so much anxiety since seeing all the red flags since November. Finally getting some validation after all the gaslighting is a huge relief. It feels 100% better to ask around than risk being wrong and looking like an asshole than to enable the gaslighting and tear apart your mental health while doing it. Alcoholism is a bitch and get some therapy to deal with it, but that's not an excuse for cheating. My boyfriend ended 6-year relationship for a threesome. We have been dating for 6 years. 5 days ago he said he wanted to break up because he does not want to deal with emotions anymore and does not want serious relationship. I have been stressing him out recently, so I told him that we should try figuring out this situation for at least 1 month, and if this doesn't work we can talk about it then. But he said that he thought about this for months and he just want to break up and be friends. But I did not want it to break up our relationship, so I went to his house the next day to talk about it. Yes, we had sex that day and he said he still loves me and cares about me. This I found there would be a chance to get back our relationship. So today, we met just to spend some time, which he agreed. We did everything that normal couples do, including sex and cuddle time, and he also agreed that I chose sleepover. I thought this was a sign that he still wants me, but just needed some time to think about himself. So, then, I decided to give him some space. But, I had gut feeling and went through his phone. I know this was wrong, but I had to check it. I went into his DMs and found a girl there that he was texting all day when I was right next to him. More shocking thing is that it wasn't just casual talk. It was about threesome. They were making plans when to see each other for a threesome and who should join them. They are seeing each other this week. I told him that I saw the DM. I was expecting him feel some guilt and say sorry, but he was just angry that I went through his phone, and he hasn't done anything wrong because we broke up. I couldn't say anything at that time, so I just ran out from his house. When I saw the text I couldn't handle myself. I was shaking badly. So I have few questions to ask you guys after seeing 6-year relationship girl in panic. Will he go for the threesome? I know I'm crazy, but I still love him. I don't want him to go there. What can I do to stop him? If you have any other advice, please tell me. I'm so lost right now. I caught my neighbor cheating. Again 2 summers ago, I caught my neighbor, F. We'll call her Lucy, cheating on her partner, M. We'll call him Josh, with one of my closest friends, Dan. I never said anything because it's none of my business and I have to live next door to them. So I thought at the time better to stay out of it. Cut to 2 nights ago, my car alarm went off in the middle of the night and I looked outside my window and saw another car parked behind our cars whilst my alarm was going off. Strange. First thought was this car has gone into the back of my car and just waiting for one of us to go outside to talk about it. Went out, my car was fine and I asked if they saw anything. Then I realized it was my neighbor Lucy in the passenger seat with someone I've never seen. They said they had been sat there a while and it just started to go off. Weird, but I unlocked it and went back in the house. Went back up to bed, and the alarm went off again. Went back out. They were still there. This had been 30 minutes later. Checked the car over again and it looked fine. But I noticed one of the windows was not shut properly, so thought that was the cause of the alarm going off. As I was dealing with that, Lucy got out of the car and said to the driver, "I had a really good night tonight. I really enjoyed myself." Then proceeded to snog him whilst I'm sorting out my car. It was very awkward, but I didn't say anything. They were still snogging when I was locking the car up. I went back inside and told my husband, and he said I should tell Josh. I said I'd think about it cause I don't want to get involved in other people's lives and potentially ruin anything. This afternoon, coming back from shopping, I heard them both arguing pretty loudly and the window was open. Not going to lie, I spent longer getting my shopping out of the car. Turns out, the alarm woke Josh up and he saw everything. Lucy said it was a one-time thing and has never cheated before, which I know it's a lie. I feel really bad for Josh. He seems like a nice, genuine guy, but Lucy is walking all over him. I hope they can sort it out for their young child's sake, but I hope Josh doesn't end up being a mug. Found out 10 years later. My wife died in 2018 after 30 years of marriage. Afterwards, I reworked my life and in the process, without going into detail, found that she had cheated on me with one of my clients. Our marriage had become a joke anyway, but I did grieve and went through all the burial services, etc. I will never tell my adult sons about the cheating, but sometimes it's hard to keep up appearances with them. My wife cheated on me 7 years ago while we were still dating. I got a message last night from my wife's former best friend letting me know that her brother slept with my wife in 2015 while she visited them in Florida for a week. She said she was woken up by the sounds of it one night and later confronted her brother about it, who confirmed the story. Now I'm conflicted because I wish I had known sooner, and now my wife and I have a 4-month-old baby, so I don't know what to do.